Hey guys, so today we're checking out the Rocker Armor side step bars in matte black fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. Now if you're in search of solid rocker protection on the trail while simultaneously having a step for better access, these are going to get the job done. Now this set of side step bars will tuck very high and tight to your rocker panel and protect the pinch weld from all angles, which will be great if you're a Jeep owner that's doing any wheeling that wants some extra protection to that area. Now these will also have a stepping pad on the front and the back to help you and your passengers get in and out of the Jeep, which is especially helpful if you've added a lift on your Wrangler and want that accessibility, but you want a heavy duty version of it. Now speaking of the build, these will be made of an aircraft grade aluminum alloy construction, being very lightweight but able to handle their own. Now they'll also have a nice matte black finish that will match with any other heavy duty accessories and protect the aluminum underneath from corrosion. Now the construction itself will feature those 2-inch square side armor bars right down at the bottom here that's going to protect the pinch weld from underneath from any hits, in addition to these side bars here that will poke out and take the blow instead of your rocker. Now the steps themselves will also be very large at 6.5 inches, making sure that you have enough room to hop in and out, and it's going to have cutouts on the top that will help with drainage, but it's also going to add a sporty look at the same time. Now speaking of the look, the minimalistic style build here looks very sleek and is great for somebody who doesn't necessarily want to go over the top with styling and wants to keep it pretty simple. Now when it comes to price, these are pretty average for a set of step bars at roughly $375. Now when comparing these to some other options, the two things that really stand out to me is a skeletal style build with the bars of the side step being in functional locations, and the fact that you're getting underbody protection, which is important especially with a longer wheelbase Wrangler when it comes to that breakover angle. Now other choices may have a little bit more to the design as far as the styling. They may not have that underbody protection or will not be as focused on protection but rather accessibility, unlike this option that balances the two nicely. Now when it comes to install, this is going to be pretty straightforward, but I am going to give it a light 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter just because you may need an extra hand to get these on, and it's going to take you about 2 hours for the full install. You also need some basic hand tools, and one of our guys in the shop is going to walk you through that process step by step. So that wraps it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a 10mm wrench, a 13mm wrench, a 10mm socket, and a 13mm socket. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing a set of side step bars on our Wrangler JL, so let's get right to it. So this kit comes with a lot of brackets. They're going to be nice and labeled for you. We have the passenger front mount, passenger front support. So the mount's going to go straight up, bolt into the top, and then our support bracket's going to come on the inside of the pinch weld. So first we can install our passenger front support bracket. So it'll go on the inside of our frame rail, and then we can take an M6 by 25 bolt with an M6 washer, slide that through the front, and then we can get another M6 washer, and an M6 locking nut on the end. And then we can loosely tighten those down with a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench. And then we can install our passenger front mount. That'll go right up top, and then we can take an M8 by 35 bolt and thread that through the top hole. And then we can loosely tighten that one down as well with a 13mm socket. So now coming to the middle, we're going to repeat pretty much the same exact process for the front, except we just have a different bracket. Slide that inside. We're going to use our same M6 by 25 bolt with a washer. And then another washer on the other side. and a locking nut. And then we can loosely tighten those down with a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench. And then we can install our main bracket. And we'll throw our M8 by 35 bolt on the top. And then we can loosely tighten that with a 13mm socket. And on the rear, it's going to be the same thing we did for the first two. And then we can loosely tighten those down with a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench. Then we can install our main bracket. We can put in our M8 by 35 bolt. And then we'll loosely tighten that with our 13mm. So now we can connect our two brackets together. So we're going to take an M8 by 25 bolt with an M8 washer, put it through, and then we'll come in with another M8 washer, an M8 lock washer, and our M8 nut on the back. And then we can come in with a 13mm wrench and a 13mm socket and loosely tighten these down. And then we can repeat that same process for the other two brackets. Now we can repeat that same process on the other side. So to install our side step onto our Jeep, we have a U-bracket, a spacer, carriage bolt. It's going to slide through our bracket on our frame, and then we'll have a washer, a lock washer, and a nut on the back side. So on our side step, we'll slide our U-bracket into place. We'll have a little spacer that'll come in between. We'll have the holes line up, and then we'll have another spacer on our back side. Get our carriage bolt through the front and through our spacer, and then we'll slide it through the hole in the bracket on our frame rail, and then we can put our washer, lock washer, and nut on the back side. So we'll take our U-bracket, slide our carriage bolt through, put our spacer on the back side of that, and then we can slide that onto our side step. We'll get our other spacer on the other side. And then we'll get our washer, lock washer, and nut ready and lift it into place. So now we can repeat that same process as the front. We'll get our carriage bolt through our U-bracket and our spacer on this side. Line it up, slide it through a hole. And then we can get our other spacer on the back. And then our washer, lock washer, and nut. So once we have our side step in its final resting position where we like it, like we do, we can go ahead and fully tighten everything down. So we'll start with our 13 millimeters. I got that one up top. And then we can get our 10 millimeters on our pinch weld. And we can repeat those same steps for our other two brackets. And then once we have everything fully tightened down on this side, we can repeat that same process on the other side.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the Rocker Armor side step bars in matte black, fitting all 2018 and newer 4-door JL Wranglers. For more videos and products just like this, remember to always keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.